Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So today, looking at the episode of Star Trek, the original series, with the episode The Paradise Syndrome. What happened in this episode? Well, in this episode, an alien device on a primitive planet erases Captain Kirk's memory, and it begins a new life with the planet's indigenous people modeled on Native Americans. Before I give into like a full in-depth thoughts, keep in mind, remember, this came out in 1968. So remember, like, say sometimes back in that time period, like there was still the idea of like using like an actor and like adding like makeup to make their face look a bit darker at times, to say now they are like looking like a Native American or something like that. Because there was still a bit of like discriminations against Native American actors in that time period. So yeah, heck, I've worked in the Lost Colony, which was a stage show in outdoor stage drama, symphonic drama in North Carolina for 3 summers. One technique they'd always use is if you were playing an Indian, they would always use spray paint you orange.
Newcomers to theater mix with veterans 6 nights a week during summer.
They didn't really use a lot of actors that were of Native background. So, yeah. But keep in mind, you're actors. You act like you're a different person. So, yeah. But, moving on from that, today, like, I'm gonna be honest about it. Well, I like the aspect of Captain Kirk having amnesia and, you know, in a way, falling in love and all that with the natives of this planet. I think that is like a good idea for a story. However, there's also the subplot involving the fact that that the crew, including Mr. Spock, are having to make sure we need to get rid of a asteroid that is heading straight for the planet, and if it is not destroyed, well, it is going to hurt the planet as well. With Captain Kirk on the planet still. So you have that going on. And I will say that I think the fight sequences for this episode are still relatively good. I think the acting is pretty good, honestly.
You bleed. You bleed, Kirk. Behold a god who bleeds.
Looking back at it, I just feel like the heart's in the right place with, like, say, okay, we're going to try to do an episode geared around Native Americans and all that. So, like, back in that time, it's like, say, okay, we have an idea of, like, you know, how they were perceived and all that. So, I mean, yeah, like, you know, like the fire dancings and all that stuff kind of deal. But honestly, I think it's a good job. I like the little bit of romance that happens in this episode. And honestly, I think it's interesting. Like, they have the usual liar reveal episode of like, oh, Kirk's not really a god. We must throw stones at him. because that's what happens, and I mean, at least that sub didn't become a allegory for religion. Anyone says Jehovah or anything like that.
Even if they do say Jehovah!
But honestly, I think this episode is pretty good. I mean, I think the romance aspects of it are pretty memorable. Jerry Finnerman, as always, does a great job. But this is just how I feel. I'll see you next time.